Calaroga Shark Media.
Hi, and welcome to Entertainment Plus, a short roundup of the top entertainment stories in today's news. We start with comedian Bert Kreischer, who was relieved that a moment from the recent Tom Brady roast didn't make it to the Netflix broadcast. Kreischer, who is also reportedly the inspiration for National Lampoon's Van Wilder, made a joke involving his bag of nicotine patches during the live show that he's thrilled didn't end up in the edited version. Kreischer had his nicotine patches in a can in his pocket, but he was informed by the director of the roast that they were too distracting. So I said, okay, I'll put them in a little bag. He recounted, only for the moment to then open up him for ridicule by comedian Sam J. She started calling me a fake party animal, that I don't even do drugs. I'm not even dead like the best ones. Kreischer continued, so I went into my pocket and pulled out my nicotine patches and I just wiggled them, which then prompted commentary from comedian Andrew Schultz. Schultz goes, you got a bag of blow on you? And the camera on me in the forum, and the forum goes nuts like, this guy brought coke. When Netflix edited together the roast, however, they cut the moment out of the broadcast, much to Kreischer's approval. Tom comes back and tells me, you're about to go viral. Everyone thinks you're a cokehead. Kreischer told Jimmy Kimmel, but they edited it out, thank God. I didn't want to have to deal with my daughters. I've been saying no pills, no powder for years, and then Dad's rolling in with half an 8-ball. In other news, Whoopi Goldberg reveals in her new memoir that she was a high-functioning cocaine addict in the 80s while on the set of some of the major films that made her famous. I'd still show up on the set on time, do my job, and keep pace with the production. I knew people wouldn't get a paycheck if I didn't show up. The EGOT writes in bits and pieces, my mother, my brother, and me. But she reveals her abuse of cocaine started to kick my ass. I'd go to work and realize I was getting sloppy. I didn't like it. I knew it wasn't good. While she doesn't name the various films she was in when she was secretly high on coke during the time described, she starred in 11 films, in all that made her a multi-millionaire and Oscar winner. Whoopi writes how after moving to Los Angeles, she would attend parties in Hollywood, Bel Air, and Beverly Hills, where a bowl of Quaaludes would greet her at the door and lines of coke would be laid out for guests. I was letting something else run my life and take me over, she admits. Recalling the height of her addiction, the Sister Act star wrote that she believed she could handle the drug because she was high-functioning. It didn't seem as dangerous as heroin, which she had previously been hooked on in the 70s. It wasn't until she had a slap-in-the-face moment that she'd realized she'd hit rock bottom. She described how she was sitting on the closet floor of her hotel room snorting cocaine by herself when a maid knocked on the door and let herself in. I screamed, she screamed, and backed up and looked like she was going to run, Whoopi explained. I'd have been so embarrassed if my mother knew the extent the coke had me in its clutches. Moving on, the Beach Boys mastermind Brian Wilson will have a conservatorship set up to care for his personal and medical needs, a Los Angeles Superior Court judge ruled on Thursday. Judge Gus T. May determined that the 81-year-old singer-songwriter required a court conservatorship, citing what his doctors described as a major neurocognitive disorder. The ruling comes just under 3 months after Wilson's family and caregivers requested that a conservatorship be set up to care for the rock and roll icon. According to them, he has been suffering from dementia, which was exacerbated following the January death of his wife, Melinda, who had cared for many of his needs at the age of 77. I find from clear and convincing evidence that a conservatorship of the person is necessary, the judge declared at the hearing. May determined that Wilson could no longer effectively make his own medical decisions, prompting the creation of the conservatorship. However, unlike with other infamous cases of high-profile stars being put under the care of a conservatorship, the Beach Boys leader has allegedly consented to the plan. The judge installed 2 of Wilson's longtime employees, his manager, Leanne Hard, and his publicist, Gene Sievers, as his conservators, after his family previously requested that they share that role. There were previous concerns about potential disagreements between Wilson's daughters, Carney and Wendy Wilson, who constitute 2/3 of the band Wilson Phillips, but they seemed to have smoothed out any issues and didn't voice any objections by Thursday's hearing. They had requested to be notified and consulted before any medical decisions were made for their father. More entertainment in just a moment. In a lighter story, while filming their new movie, The Idea of You, Nicholas Galitzine and Anne Hathaway repeatedly locked lips for the camera, and they were minty fresh each time they did so. In fact, Galitzine says the kissing scenes were so intense that Hathaway gave him a unique gift at the end of filming, a painting of Listerine strips. Oftentimes, our intimacy coordinator would come in and give us a Listerine strip, the red, white, and royal blue star explained in British GQ video. And we used them so much that Annie was kind enough to commission a painting of Listerine strips for me, and now I have that hanging up in my apartment. Galatzine said he now thinks about the movie every single time he sees the product, which is understandable. Directed by Michael Showalter, the idea review centers on Hathaway's character, Solene, a 40-year-old single mom who begins a romance with the 24-year-old lead singer of a popular boy band played by Galatzine. Despite having very different lifestyles, the sparks fly. And there you have it. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or your app of choice. If you like the show, give us 5 stars, give us a review. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Entertainment Plus.